What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? We're hearing stuff about Leroy Sané being linked to Arsenal, Garnacho being linked to Arsenal, Zubimendi being linked away to Real Madrid, even though we thought the deal was done. We got to hear you go from Fabrizio Romano. What more do we need? But let's get on to it. Today's show is a frustrating one, but we're going to debunk all the fake news. Let's get into it. First things first, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. And let's start with the Zubimendi stuff, because first things first, the people need to make up their mind. Is Zubimendi a good player and you guys think Arsenal are getting a good player, or is Zubimendi a shit player? And hence why you guys should be like laughing at the fact that we might not get him. But first things first, let's hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Let's talk about this. Zubimendi. Reports are that Zubimendi to Arsenal is almost done, but a call from Real Madrid has now changed everything, and the situation is open, reports this gentleman here. Now, before we go any further, last time I checked, the reports were that Zubimendi to Arsenal was done. That's what I was hearing. I was hearing Zubimendi to Arsenal was finished. Zubimendi to Arsenal is waiting for he's waiting for the official documents and everything else. The release clause is going to be 51 million. And pretty much that majority of the stuff that we're hearing, the rumors that we're hearing, are BS. At this moment in time, Zubimendi to Arsenal is done. All official documents have been signed, pending successful medical, which will complete in July at Real Sociedad's request. And 51 million will be transferred to the Spanish league, and then that will pay the release clause for Zubimendi. Now, all the stuff that is happening with Real Madrid, all the stuff that's going on with Real Madrid, in my opinion, is a lot from the Real Madrid media trying to run with a story that is not real. We need to relax. The truth of the matter is Real Madrid have made contact with Zubimendi. The truth of the matter is that they have contacted Zubimendi's camp. Now, let's look at this. Let's look at this right here. This will explain a lot. Arsenal plan to finalize the deal for Zubimendi. Real Sociedad this week, as confirmed. It is true that Real Madrid have contacted Zubimendi's camp in the last days, but the potential move of the summer. But Zubimendi already gave his word to Arteta and Arsenal to join next season and expected to stay with it. Arsenal will pay the 60 million release clause, or 51 million pounds release clause, to finalize the deal. Medical is scheduled for the next days, and nothing unexpected is happening. Zubimendi to Arsenal will 100% be completed this week. Now, you're hearing a lot of different reports. You're hearing stuff like this. You're also hearing stuff like Real Madrid are interested. Fabrizio Romano himself was speaking on this topic on a channel on The Zone.
Pero no lo veo fácil, y de lo que me cuentan, ya lo había dicho ayer y sigo contándolo hoy, que ha habido muchísimos rumores sobre esto de Real Madrid. A mí me dicen que Martin Zubimendi va a jugar en el Arsenal.
He clearly says at the end of the video, Martin Zubimendi will be headed to Arsenal, and particularly close transfer with Arsenal. So I'm not too panicked at this moment in time. I do think Zubimendi to Arsenal will be happening. You also have Alex Goldberg here saying that Zubimendi to Arsenal is done. Ignore the Real Madrid stuff. Pretty straightforward right there. Now, I will admit that Real Madrid are going to do what Real Madrid do, and this is what Real Madrid do. Real Madrid will try to get involved in a deal late in the deal and see what they can do. But even reporters from Spain are reporting that this is done. And I can just show you once again this right here. Zubimendi's future player interested by Real Madrid, but of course has not yet signed with Arsenal. Sources are close to the Gunners insist that an agreement is complete, and next season he will be training under Mikel Arteta's orders. So you got all sorts of people saying this. You got Miguel Delaney coming out and saying that Real Sociedad noise about Zubimendi has surprised those at Real Sociedad, and obviously prefer a sale to Arsenal and still anticipate that will happen. Arsenal were relaxed before the weekend, but this exactly what Real Madrid do. Yeah, this is exactly what Real Madrid do. And then you also got Tom Canton saying it's understood that Real Madrid indeed attempted to convince Zubimendi to join them over Arsenal, but the Gunners have a long-term confidence that the Spaniard would be joining them this summer. And there's also worth noting that it would be a major shock if Real Madrid pull this off, but they are trying. So at this moment in time, Real Madrid are trying their best to get Zubimendi, and we will see if anything changes. At this moment in time, I don't think Zubimendi to Real Madrid is going to happen at all. Now, in other news, there is other news also. Real Madrid are looking to sell Rodrigo, and they are looking to sell Rodrigo for 80 million euros. That is an amazing deal. 80 million euros. That is around 67 million pounds. That would be a cheap deal for Arsenal. We should jump on that. He is one of the best wingers in the world for such a affordable price. So I hope that this does happen. I hope that this is the reality, and hopefully it does happen. Now, just going back to Zubimendi thing quickly one more time before we go on to the next topic. People are saying that the legal documents have been exchanged and an agreement is in place for the transfer for Zubimendi pending medical. So we can just relax, people. We can relax. As for the Garnacho news, let's talk about Garnacho before we go any further. Reliable journalist has reported, this gentleman here, confirming that Arsenal are interested in signing Alejandro Garnacho, and the player will leave Manchester United and prefers to stay in the English Premier League. Two teams have expressed interest, and that is Chelsea, who've shown great interest, followed by Arsenal. Reportedly, Chelsea are the closer team to signing Garnacho at this moment in time. I personally do not want Garnacho anywhere near the club, but the 20-year-old winger who this season only scored 1 goal in the Europa League, 4 assists in the Europa League, and in the Premier League had a total of 6 goals, 2 assists, is quite young, still has a lot of scope to grow. Personally, I don't want anything with Garnacho. I hope we're not linked to Garnacho. I hope we don't sign Garnacho. I don't think we want Garnacho. And if we did sign Garnacho, I'd be totally against it, and I will never turn around on my opinion that Garnacho is not a good enough player to play for Arsenal. I don't think he's an upgrade on Trossard. I do not think he's an upgrade on Martinelli. He's 20 years old. Maybe you could say he will be a better player in the future, but I don't want to take any more hand-me-downs from any of those clubs, be it Manchester United or Chelsea. We just took Kepa, and that I can barely bear, as he's a goalkeeper and he's not going to play. But Garnacho, please keep him away from our club. Even though some people would say it's an affordable deal, let Chelsea go and get this deal sorted, as they are the front runners to sign Garnacho at this moment in time. And this is what's being reported.
¿Qué quiere él? Te voy a decir. Él quiere seguir en la Premier. Él pidió que no avance una oferta del Napoli, que el Manchester estaba dispuesto a aceptar hace 6 meses, porque no quería ir a la Serie A. Y hay 2 equipos de la Premier League que mostraron interés por él.
¿Cuáles?
Who are they?
El Chelsea y el Arsenal.
So he was asked, who are the 2 clubs that are interested in Garnacho? And he said Chelsea and Arsenal. So those are the 2 clubs that are interested in Garnacho. I personally think Garnacho being linked to Chelsea makes sense. They previously went in for him. Garnacho coming to Arsenal does not make sense, in my opinion. Whatever anybody says, I do think it is just a situation where he's a young player. He's going to be linked to clubs that have been interested in signings of the same caliber. But I think Garnacho is just a level below what we're looking for right now. With the likes of Leao and Rodrigo available, and even Leroy Sané, I would rather take them ahead of Garnacho any day of the week. And personally, I don't think Garnacho to Arsenal will be happening. So we don't have too much to worry about there, ladies and gentlemen. I think we'll be okay. Quickly, just speaking about Leroy Sané, we've gotten an update on what's going on with Leroy Sané's contract situation, and it's very interesting, might I say myself. So let's check this out. So Leroy Sané has received 4 offers. Fenerbahce have offered him the most money. Bayern Munich have an extension on the table for him, which he might reject. Galatasaray were very complicated, and I don't know if it's going to happen. But Arsenal offered the least wages, but if they raise them, Sané is theirs. So at this moment in time, that's being reported from this gentleman here. I forget where he is. He is a journalist. I don't know where he's originally from, but we'll see. At this moment in time, seems like Arsenal have offered the least money for Leroy Sané. If we increase it, we'll see. But the money that Leroy Sané is currently on, the wages that he's currently on, makes me think that we would not be going for him. Because if I show you Leroy Sané's wages right now, he is on a decent wage package over there. Yeah, there you go. He's currently earning 280 a week. That would make him Arsenal's highest earner. I don't think we're going to be looking to put him on 280. The reality is, if Leroy Sané wants to join Arsenal, he's going to have to be on like 180 minimum, and that's pushing it. That's almost 200k a week. That's one of our highest earners are on that. So a large majority of our highest earners are less than 200. Saka's on like 200. Partey's on 200. We only have really 3 players above 200. That's Declan Rice, Havertz, and Jesus. And really and truly, Jesus and Havertz should not be on that much money regardless. But yeah, that's pretty much it, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to wrap it up here. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video, quickly explaining everything going on around Arsenal. If there's any more news or any more stories or anything else that we need to discuss, I will cover that and show you as it goes. For now, is there anything else that I could tell you about for now? Please do let me know, and we'll hit that like button, hit that subscribe button while you guys are here. And let me just double check quickly if there's anything else that we need to discuss. We spoke about Zubimendi. Yeah, there's no real big update on Sesko. Sesko's situation is pretty straightforward. We're just waiting for Arsenal and RB Leipzig to agree on a deal for Sesko. We'll see what happens with that. No real update on the Sesko situation, but for now, we'll leave you to be. You guys have yourselves a wonderful day. Catch you guys in the next video. Love for the love. Peace.